You have been walking for hours. The mud pulls at your boots with every step. The rain has soaked through your cloak. Your stomach growls like an angry dog. And then you hear it. Laughter. Shouting. Someone singing a song about a goose. The sound is coming from a crooked wooden building that leans so far to the left it looks like it has had one too many drinks itself. That building is the medieval tavern. And here's the truth that every movie and every book forgets to tell you. You would not survive the night. Not because of the ale, though that might kill you. Not because of the food. You will learn about that soon enough. But because this place is the most dangerous, unpredictable, and unforgettable building in the entire medieval world. Tonight we step inside. We will smell what they smelled. We will taste what they tasted. We will sit beside farmers and thieves and soldiers who have seen things you cannot imagine. And by the time we are done, you will understand why the medieval tavern was not just a place to drink. It was the heart of a world that has long since turned to dust. So get comfortable, turn down the lights, and let us go back to a time when the only thing more dangerous than the ale was the man pouring it. Welcome to A Little Too Historical. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing so you never miss another journey into history. And if you enjoy what you hear, leave a like and a comment below, because your support helps keep these stories alive. Now close your eyes for just a moment. Take a breath, and let us step through that crooked door together. You've been walking for hours through mud that clings to your boots like it does not want to let go. The rain has soaked through your cloak, and your tunic, and your very bones, and your stomach is growling so loudly that you are certain the horses can hear it. You are tired and hungry and cold, and you have nearly been trampled by a cart full of turnips twice now, and you desperately need a drink. So you stop and you listen. Somewhere past the blacksmith's forge and the fishmonger yelling about his fresh eels, you hear it. Laughter. Shouting. Someone singing a song about a goose. You follow the noise through the dark, winding streets, and there it stands. A crooked wooden building that leans so far to the left, it looks like the architecture itself has had one too many drinks. A wooden sign hangs above the door, barely legible, with a crude painting that might be a barrel, or might be a bear, or might be both. The front step is slick with something you really hope is water. You push open the heavy iron hinge door, and it lets out a creak so long and so dramatic that it feels like the building is announcing your arrival to everyone inside. And then the smell hits you. Warm air rushes out carrying the rich perfume of smoke and wet wool and stale beer and something that might be meat or might be regret. It is not a pleasant smell. It is not even a tolerable smell. It is the kind of smell that makes you understand why people in the Middle Ages did not live very long. But you have come this far, and you are too tired to turn back. So you step inside. The door slams shut behind you, and the darkness wraps around your senses like a damp wool blanket. Warm and uncomfortable and deeply suspicious. Your eyes adjust slowly. Candlelight flickers against soot-stained walls, casting dancing shadows that make even the chairs look like they might pick a fight. The hearth blazes in the far corner, doubling as both heating and open flame hazard. And the noise hits you like a physical thing. Laughter and arguing and someone pounding a mug against a table and a man shouting about a stolen chicken and a woman laughing in a way that promises trouble. You have arrived at the heart of the medieval town, and the medieval town has just noticed you are here. You look around the smoky room, searching for a place to sit, and that is when you see them, the true ruler of this establishment. Behind a thick wooden plank resting across two barrels stands the tavern keeper. And the moment your eyes meet, you understand something important. This person owns every single thing inside these walls, including you. The tavern keeper is the king, the queen, the judge, and the executioner of this little kingdom. They are built like someone who has carried barrels since childhood and broken up fights since adolescence, and they have a stare that can silence a room faster than a thunderclap. You do not see them move. You only see them watching. A man at a nearby table raises his voice, and before you can blink, the tavern keeper is there. Not yelling, not threatening, just standing. And suddenly that man remembers he has somewhere else to be. Behind a bar, they keep track of everything. Who has paid? Who owes? Who has had 3 too many? Who is carrying a blade? Who is carrying a secret? They know the regulars by name. They know strangers by instinct. and they know exactly which travelers will not be leaving town tomorrow morning. A woman approaches the bar with a smile that is too bright and a coin purse that is too heavy. The tavern keeper takes her coin without looking at it and gives her a look that says, "I know what you are, and I do not care as long as you pay." This is their world. You're just drinking in it. And as you slide onto a damp bench near the hearth, you realize that if you want to survive this night, you will need to stay on their good side. Do not start a fight. Do not insult the ale. And for the love of everything holy, do not forget to pay your tab. Your throat is dry and your stomach is screaming, and you know it is time. The tavern keeper gives you a nod that could mean welcome or could mean warning, and you push yourself toward the bar. You ask for a drink, and they do not smile. They simply reach for a mug that has seen better centuries and fill it from a barrel that has been sitting in the corner since before you were born. The ale arrives warm and cloudy and thick enough to chew. Little bits of something float on the surface. Grain maybe, yeast maybe, the mustache of the previous customer probably. You do not ask. You just drink, and somehow it is perfect. It is bitter and sour, and it tastes like survival. Because in the Middle Ages, drinking ale is not about having a good time. It is about not dying. Water is dangerous. It is teeming with invisible things that will make you sick, and in a world without medicine, sickness is a death sentence. So everyone drinks ale. Even children, even nuns, even the farmer who has been drinking since breakfast. The alcohol kills the bacteria, and the bacteria is the real enemy. You finish your mug, and your stomach is still growling, and you know what comes next. Food. You ask what is available, and the tavern keeper points to a large pot hanging over the fire. Pottage. Thick stew made from whatever was in the kitchen that morning. Some vegetables. Some grain. A piece of meat that might be rabbit or might be pigeon or might be the unlucky chicken that wandered too close to the fire yesterday. It has been cooking for days. New ingredients are added. Nothing is removed. It is less of a meal and more of a culinary archaeological dig. Your bowl arrives. It is warm and it is filling, and if you do not think too hard about what is floating in it, you might actually enjoy it. The bread is hard enough to break a tooth. The cheese smells like an old boot. But you eat because you are hungry and because you know that in a medieval tavern, eating is not about pleasure. It is about fuel. It is about strength. And it is about surviving long enough to see the sun rise tomorrow. You have eaten. You have drunk. And now you look around the room and realize the real entertainment is just beginning. The people of the medieval tavern are a living, breathing organism, and they are all performing for each other. A farmer is retelling the same story about his cow for the third time. A soldier is describing a battle that clearly never happened. A merchant is shouting prices for grain that no one asked for while pulling gold coins from his pouch like a man begging to be robbed by midnight. Near the hearth, two men are playing dice. One of them is cheating. The other knows it, and he is letting it happen because he is saving the real argument for when the ale runs out. A man at the next table stares at you with the dazed look of someone who has forgotten how chairs work. The woman beside him is laughing. Not at him, with him, or maybe at him. It is impossible to tell. In the corner, a man is whispering to a woman whose smile suggests secrets and danger and a price that must be paid in more than coin. A bard begins to play something that is almost music. His voice cracks on the high notes, but no one cares. He is wearing pants, and he is mostly in tune, and that is already better than last night's performer. The tavern is alive. It is rough, it is raw, and it is completely unfiltered. Everyone is watching everyone else. Everyone is plotting their next move. And as you settle deeper into your bench, you realize that the real story of this place is not what you drink or what you eat. It is who you meet and what they want from you. Someone spills a drink, or maybe someone cheats at dice, or maybe someone says something about someone else's mother. It does not really matter because suddenly the room explodes. A man shoves a bench backward and sends two drinkers tumbling into the dirt. A woman swings a tankard with the precision of a soldier. Someone yells a word that makes the tavern keeper flinch, and then a stool goes flying across the room like a bird that has forgotten how to fly. The bar fight has begun, and you are right in the middle of it. This is not like the movies. There is no choreography, no slow motion, no hero landing. This is chaos. Arms and elbows and knees, and someone biting someone else, and a man trying to crawl under a table only to realize the dog got there first. The tavern keeper does not panic. They simply reach for the club behind the bar and wade into the mess like a farmer separating stubborn livestock. A man grabs your shoulder, thinking you are part of the fight, and you shove him away, and he stumbles into a plate of stew, and suddenly that is a whole new problem. Someone is laughing. Someone is crying. Someone is trying to start a song in the middle of the brawl, and that might be the most dangerous thing of all, because now people are confused, and confused people swing harder. And then as quickly as it began, it is over. The fighters are separated. Mugs are refilled. Someone pats the bleeding man on the back and calls him a good sport. The tavern breathes again. But you know and they know that this peace will not last. It never does. The fight is over. The bard is passed out, and your body is screaming for rest. You ask the tavern keeper about a room, and they point a thumb toward a narrow staircase that looks like it was built by someone who had never used stairs before. You climb. The steps creak and groan, and you're certain each one is the last before the whole thing collapses. You reach the top and find a small room with a low ceiling and a bed that is really just a sack of straw on a wooden frame. There is no privacy. There is no comfort. There are strangers already sprawled across the floor and the bed and the corner, and they are snoring like wounded animals. You lie down fully clothed because there is no point in undressing in a room full of strangers. Boots stay on. Dagger stays under your pillow, not for comfort, but for protection. The straw is lumpy and something crawls across your arm, and you do not look to see what it is. The blanket is thin and it smells like the last person who used it, and you try not to think about who that might have been. The night is cold. The floor is hard. Your head is pounding from the ale, and your jaw is sore from the fight. But your eyes grow heavy and the noise below begins to fade. You drift off, not to a peaceful sleep, but to something close enough. You wake at dawn with a sore neck and a dry mouth and a bruise on your rib that you do not remember earning. You check your boots. They're still there. A small victory. You check your purse. Still there. A bigger victory. And as you stumble down the stairs into the quiet morning, you realize something strange. You survived. The tavern was dirty and dangerous and absolutely insane. But you survived, and part of you already wants to do it again.